This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social at the Alexandra Palace. I'm joined by Dave Coldwell. Again, really appreciate you doing this. Really tough time for you. LERRONE has had to pull out, but just tell me the situation from your eyes, Dave.
Well, firstly, he wanted to fight, and he feels as though he can fight. But as his coach, and I'm responsible for him. I'm responsible for his health. You know, if a fighter's taking a beating, you got to throw that towel in. You've got to look after your fighter. Also, before the fight, 24 hours before a fight, you know, if he's feeling unwell and something happens, you got to make hard decisions. And yesterday, I've had a phone call around 6:30 in the evening from his nutritionist who was with him at the time. I need to go to the hotel room as soon as possible, so I've gone in. And basically, what's happened is that LERRONE, he's had his food, and I don't know if he said he's had his second meal or what, but as the evening's gone on, he's not felt well. He's felt unwell, and just kind of thought, you know, sometimes you just need to be sick. You need to feel sick. When you're feeling sick, you just need to get rid of it, and then you feel all right. He's gone to the bathroom to be sick, and for whatever reason, and I don't know because I'm not a doctor, which is why. He's got an appointment with his doctor. He's going to get an appointment with his doctor tomorrow. He's got an MRI booked in for tomorrow already. What's happened is that basically he's been sick, but then he's gone. You know, when you go lightheaded, go a little bit dizzy. Now, I can be like that if I'm sick. Then I'm a bit. I see stars, a little bit dizziness. So I don't know if it's the blood pressure or what. But it's just gone. Put the lid down to sit on the toilet for 2 minutes. Give himself a minute, and. He says that's it. All he remembers next is Lee like speaking to him. What Lee's telling me is that what happened was that Lee's heard a thud, shouted coming from the bathroom, shouted LERRONE and got no response, so got up, gone straight. So however long it's taken from the thud for Lee to walk into the bathroom and see him that he's literally just slumped with his head on the sink next to the toilet. He's gone to see if he's all right, and as soon as he's gone to see if he's all right, LERRONE's opened his eyes and right. He's got no recollection of bumping his head or anything, but the fact is that he's got a bump and he's sore around the top of his ear. That without a doubt, and he's in that position, he's bumped his head. But even if he's not bumped his head, the fact that he's just passed out for whatever length of time it took Lee to get to him, I can't let him fight. And it doesn't matter whether people want to say that he's scared, that he's bottled it, we've pulled out, whatever. Like, fucking, it doesn't matter. Because if he'd have bumped his head, I'd have had to have pulled him out. Bumped his head and he's got a lump, and he's letting the man go into the back. But as well as that, if he's blacked out for whatever length of time, you can't do that, man. This is boxing. They're going in there to get punched in the head. And it's not about the fact that it's Zach Shelley fight. It's on Sky. It's this. If this had been against a German off camera, 6:30 or whatever, and it's a fighter that's lost 100 times and doesn't throw any punches, literally, you still can't take that risk because this is boxing, and there's enough damage and shit that comes with boxing and risks that comes with boxing for me not to allow a fighter to do that. I can't do that, and I can't. Listen, I've been involved with fighters like Jordan Gill didn't tell me was ill, and then went in there and got beat, and then it put him back 2 years. LERRONE's 30 years old. I can't allow anything like that to happen. I can't allow that there's a 5% chance or whatever. I don't know what the percentage chance is, but there's a chance that he goes in that ring and then he gets hit and something, God forbid, something bad happens to him. How do I live with myself? And also, what does that say about the sport? You know, the sport's coming off with so much shit because of things that are happening with people cover things up or allow things to happen when really they shouldn't be. Can you imagine that? So I can't do that, and I won't do that. So it's like I've said, I've spoke to Zach Shelley and his dad earlier on today in the hotel. I went to speak to him and I explained. I said, listen, I understand that you're pissed off. I understand that you're going to call him every name under the sun, and you're going to go around saying that he's scared. He ain't fucking scared. I've pulled him out of the fight. That's on me. And I understand because he's put all his life into this fight. You know what I mean? He's worked hard himself and he's sacrificed, and his dad spent time with him training him. So I get emotions. I understand that. So whatever comes from them, I understand. Don't mean I agree with it. And like I said, anyone that's going to side and say, oh yeah, LERRONE pulled out because you're scared. It's bullshit, man. Tell me one fighter you know that's scared. They do this because they're not scared of fighting. Right? Not one fighter goes in there and I'm scared and then pulls out because they're scared. Nobody pulls out because they're scared. Might go in a little bit scared, some fighters. Fucking, that's natural. But they go in there and fight because that's what they are. But look at LERRONE's record in 16 fights. Look at who he's fought. Come on, man. If he's going to be scared of anybody, he'd have been scared and pulled out against Lennox Clark. He'd have been scared and pulled out against Gongora. Do you know what I mean? Huge steps up. Do you know what I mean? Huge puncher at world level, right? So it's not anything, and that's not disrespecting Zach Chelly. It's just facts. He ain't scared. He's out of the fight because I've pulled him out of the fight because he's not well, and because I'm not willing to let somebody that I work with, but I'm close with as well, to go in that ring and roll a dice. I'm not rolling a dice with his health. I'm not doing that.
I sense a lot of emotion with you, David, at the moment. Because go on, it's a long time in the making, this fight.
It's not this fight. It's a long time in the making. It's LERRONE. What he's had for a year. He's had a shit year, and I see what he puts, what he goes through, but what he puts into the game. He's in this gym. He's not had a timeout. Oh, I'm not fighting. I've not got no fight date, so I'm not going to fight. He's been in the gym. When I say we've used the time wisely to become a better fighter, I'm telling the truth. He's in the gym fucking all the time. You know, he's got his family's in London. He's up here in my gym in Rotherham. That he lives up there. That's it. So I know what it means to him. I know, like, this was his big breakout because it's Sky Sunday afternoon, massive viewing figures.
Potential deal later on, perhaps with Boxer.
Potential deal later on, exactly. This is we're here as an opponent. It's not part of a deal. We're here as an opponent. So I've had to pull him out of all that. And also, consequently, take the flak. LERRONE's going to take the flak for bottling it, being scared, all that sort of shit. Man, it's just... I see what these fighters go through, and every trainer sees what their fighters go through, and that's why it's not on a management side sometimes, or promotional side, it can just be business. On a trainer side of things, you can't be business. LERRONE's like, we're family up there, do you know what I mean? So... It's tough, and it's
yeah, I know. Look, in retrospect as well to the situations that's happened, how concerned are you with? We're all wishing LERRONE best health and safe soon and stuff. But how concerned are you with what has happened?
I'm not a doctor, but the weight wasn't an issue. His weight was fine, and if you look at him in the weigh-in yesterday, he looked great. I'm talking about the face. His face looked great. It was fine, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a but. Kevin Marie, who's Shaquille Thompson's manager, we was last night when I was speaking with Boxer, we was trying to find if he had a fighter that could step in for Zach, and he mentioned that, like, the day before, one of his fighters had to pull out of a show because all of a sudden he just felt unwell. And he told me that I think John Pegg, one of his fighters, had to pull out of a show as well. All of a sudden just feeling unwell, like a drop of a hat. So I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know if it's a reaction to food. I don't know if it's just because when you're being sick, the pressure, your blood pressure or the pressure around their weights. I don't know if that's where he's gone dizzy, and then just some people when they go dizzy they just pass out. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but that's why on Monday he's going to go and see a doctor, and that's why on Monday he's going to get an MRI scan, and then once he's had them done, I'm going to let him have a week out of the gym or whatever, and then once we've got the all clear and everything's fine, they'll be back in my gym, and then we'll work towards it. Hopefully this fight gets made for February. You know what I mean? Whenever Boxer want to give us a date for it, then it's not, if you're scared, you pull out and go a different route. LERRONE wants this fight because now he knows, especially, that people are just going to chat shit. They're going to chat shit. This, and he just wants to put it to bed. So that's where we're at.
Have you spoken to LERRONE as well? How is he? Yeah, how is he in himself, etc.?
So I went up and saw him after I had the meeting with Boxer. I went up at about midnight last night, and he then said that starting to feel a little bit of a stiff neck coming on. Before that, it was just like sore where that's why we knew that he's bumped his head, because he can't remember bumping his head, but he's sore on the ear. And plus, Lee found him in that position with his head resting, so you know he's bumped his head if he's sore there. But other than that, he said he felt fine, but then at midnight, he started to feel a bit sore in his neck. Today I've gone in and seen him, he's got a stiff neck. So he couldn't fight anyway with a stiff neck, but he understands that, but he wants to fight, but he respects my decision, and he understands that listen, every fighter will fight. You know, they'll go through everything. You know, like, I've done all this work, I've put all this money into camp, I've sacrificed everything. I'm fighting. Plus the fact that I've not fought for a year, I'm fighting. But that's where you need somebody just to turn around and just say, no, and that's what I've had to do. And it's not a nice decision. I'll be honest with you, it's not hard. It wasn't a hard decision, because the minute they told me that he's blacked out, that's it. Job done. Job done. A hard decision is if he's been sick, because then you're thinking, hang on a minute, there's obviously something. But sometimes it's like, as soon as I'm sick, I can train straight away. I'm fine, not a problem. And a lot of people can be like that, but it's still that nagging doubt in your head. But either a bump on the head or a blackout, that's an easy decision. You're not fighting. It's a hard decision for a fighter. It's a hard decision for a promoter. And I'm gutted for boxing. It's my first fighter on a boxer show as such. And you know, this is, like I said, this was LERRONE's big chance back on Sky. But I can't think about them. I understand, and that's what I said to Ben and Baz. I'm so sorry, but I can't take that gamble.
Yeah, look, we know the sport is in a place at the moment which is not really in the best light, and to have that go on, I think and to everyone that would have came out later on, the ridicule that you would have, not only you would have got, LERRONE would have got, the whole team would have got, Boxer would have got, the sport would have got. So in the end, it was the right decision and the only decision that you could make, Dave.
Yeah, well, that's how I see it. It's the only decision, and like I said, I expect to get shit for it. LERRONE expects to get shit for it, but make the fight again, and then all the shit that's coming will take for a few months, couple of months, whatever it is, a few weeks, couple of months, and then it'll all get put to bed when LERRONE beats him in the fight. That's it.
And again, thank you so much for your time today. Just your final word on the situation as a whole, Dave.
Yeah, it's just shit. I apologise, for Boxer missing out on a great fight. I'm gutted for Zach Shelley and his dad. I genuinely am. I get it, and I get the shit they're going to give us. Not a problem, and I said that to him. I understand. I am gutted for you because I understand what you've gone through. LERRONE's fans that have turned up, coming up for this fight, fans out there that were excited for this fight or have paid to come to this fight, I'm gutted. And the viewers, I am gutted. It was a good fight, but I can't say anything else. I wouldn't change my mind. My priority isn't all that lot. My priority is my fighter, and so that's all I've done.